I'm Braden Tabor. I'm a senior. I'm a behavioral neuroscience major, and this fall I interned at Boyle County High School. The team. This fall I had the privilege of being the strength conditioning coach for Boyle County soccer team, first year head coach and center strength conditioning coach, who many of you may know, Jeremy Carlson, offered me the position in the summer, and without hesitation I accepted it. Jeremy and myself have grown extremely close over the last 3 years, and he knows my love for strength conditioning and just wanting to make athletes better as a whole. I didn't know a ton about soccer, but I came in with an open mind and I was ready to work. He told me that our team was young and inexperienced, but talented. So our job as a coaching staff this season was to take a group of kids with little varsity experience and create the best possible athlete. The process. As a team, we lifted 3 days a week, and I was tasked with programming these workouts and ensuring our athletes continued to develop throughout the season. We typically lifted Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but sometimes that got moved around based off of our schedule. In the weight room, we focused on developing strength and explosiveness. The clean and squat were our cornerstone exercises. We found these typically had the best carryover strength and explosive ability. Many of our workouts came from The System by Johnny Parker. It's a great book, great read. He discusses his percentages, volumes, and much more. The challenge we faced were that many of our athletes had never lifted before. Especially coming from a soccer background, the weight room isn't much of a concern. So, for that reason, we kept our workout simple and focused primarily on technique and making sure every lift was grooved perfectly. We did find that lifting throughout the season began to pay off as we made it deeper and deeper into the postseason. We'd play these bigger teams, and you would expect us to get knocked around and thrown around, but the weight room really paid off. We were able to stay on the ball and continue making shots on goal. The testing. Every day, regardless of whether we were practicing or playing a game, we recorded the athlete's body weight, vertical, hours of sleep, and perceived readiness on a scale from 1 to 5. And we use these numbers as performance indicators to determine how an athlete would play during a game or how they would practice. So we would take these numbers after a few weeks and we had developed a baseline. We could look at the numbers and be like, oh, athlete 1, he's about to have a crazy game. Athlete 3 may have to get a sub for him coming up. Not only that, but we were able to use these numbers and guide us whether we were overtraining or undertraining our athletes. And if we were starting to overtrain the athletes and numbers were starting to fall off, we'd lay off. We'd have a fun day at practice. We'd play a game, just get morale back up and get the body recovered. So as you can see, figure 1 and 2, I have 2 graphs. These are all off of athlete 1. We have their body weight and vertical. And the graphs start on 8:31 and they end on 10:26. And for body weight, you can see that athlete 1 reached a peak body weight of around 165 pounds, and he dropped off around 154 pounds. And then for his vertical, he peaked around 26.8 inches, and then on his lowest day was around 24.2. It was definitely interesting to see how the charts fluctuated throughout the season. So body weight would be down, vertical would be down, and then the next day would be right back up. It's just at that age, high schoolers are able to recover so much. There's so much going on within their bodies that they're able to recover. But an interesting thing we saw was on 9-10 in particular, the vertical and body weight were greatly decreased. And then after checking our notes and discussing it with each other, athlete 1 had severe cramps during 9-10. It was hard to keep him on the field, and he was struggling to keep playing. So this just goes to show that maybe the body weight and vertical did indicate like athlete 1 would have a poor performance that day. To second that, on 10-15, athlete 1 had a vertical of 26.6, just shy of his best vertical all season on our district championship. In that game, athlete 1 had a goal and an assist. So it just goes to show these graphs do support the idea that there is a correlation between body weight, vertical, and the performance of an athlete. The journey. This season has been full of ups and downs. We started the season 3-0, and we followed that up with a 6-game loss. And then we came back. We beat Danville, of course, had to beat the crosstown rivals. Then we dropped 2 more. So we followed that up with a 1-8 slide going into the postseason. At this point, we didn't know what was going to happen, if we would even win the first game of districts. And what some would call a miracle and some call luck, we just call it whatever we want. But we ended up winning districts, we won regionals, and we even made it to the Elite Eight in the state. It was just a crazy run, and watching the morale of the team go from in the dumps all the way to being on cloud nine. We were doing things that Boyle County hadn't done since 2014. It was truly amazing, and it was incredible to be part of. And it's one of the craziest statistics is in postseason play we outscored our opponents 32-5. But I mean, it was just a great experience, and I couldn't thank Jeremy enough. I couldn't thank Boyle County enough. I can't thank the kids enough, and I can't thank the community as a whole from bringing a kid from Western Kentucky in and accepting him and allowing him to spend countless hours with their kids and develop them as athletes. Thank you.